Good day. We're here at Sibos 2015 in Singapore this year, one of the financial capitals of the world. I'm Chris Principe from Financial IT, and I'm pleased this morning to have with me my good friend Micah from Actimize. Micah, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, Chris. How about yourself?
Great. Could you tell us just a little bit about the company?
Yeah, so Actimize, we're a financial crime software company. So we specialize in anti-money laundering, fraud, and financial market compliance. So really looking at, from an AML perspective, looking for typologies for money laundering. From a fraud perspective, looking at cybercrime and those types of insider activities. And on financial crime, looking at broker-dealer type transactions and insider trading.
Well, it's very interesting for me because, of course, compliance and regulation is a big topic, not only here but everywhere.
Yep.
And you're generally right in the middle of all that. So how does that affect your Sibos and your approach to Sibos this year?
Yeah, I mean, from a Sibos perspective, what we're really looking at is one of the biggest changes is around working with customers and customer onboarding and customer due diligence. So there's a lot more emphasis from financial institutions looking at workflow and looking at those types of solutions to improve a customer experience, as well as meeting all the regulatory guidelines that they're having to meet. So no longer do you have to worry just about the US and UK regulators. You have to worry about the regulators in the Middle East, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, and make sure that you're applying appropriate due diligence and monitoring of your customer base.
Well, it's certainly a challenging spot, the way that industry has expanded. And let's say it's not necessarily an industry, it's become an industry.
Yes.
So the compliance aspects are very important, the risk management that goes with keeping away from doing the things that are not allowed is an important thing, and I hear you have a very customer-centric approach to this. Tell us a little bit about the solution.
Yeah, so what we do is traditionally Actimize has been known for our transaction monitoring. So this is where we take all the transactions from a financial institution and we look for the typologies that would indicate money laundering. So looking for layering and these other types of things that you see in the movies like Wolf of Wall Street and Breaking Bad and those types of TV shows. But what we've also moved into is a more comprehensive solution around the integration with customer information. So also looking at behavior of the customer. So when you're onboarded as a customer, you would say, I'm a cash-intensive pizza business and I'm going to be sending remittances back to my family in the Philippines once a month. But if all of a sudden 6 months down the road, you're now sending 10 remittances, 5 to Macau, 2 to Pakistan, 1 to Kenya, 1 to the Philippines, that might indicate, some additional activity that's going on from a money laundering perspective or terrorism financing. So that's how we look, and that's, we're looking to combine from an integrated perspective, not just looking at the money, but also looking at the behavior of the customers to ensure that it matches that type of customer that you would expect that activity to be.
So interesting, the takeaway for me is, there's certainly the ability to do some multi-level viewing of things, which traditionally wasn't had the same ability. And through that multi-level, you can identify maybe some anomalies in the activity and potentially then some breaking of compliance rules or some risk.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit more on how you now deliver that to your customers.
Yep. So, what we do is using our traditional software platform. So we install this on site for the largest tier 1 banks in the world. We're also moving to having a cloud-based solution for, smaller institutions, but also broker-dealers, money service bureaus, and other types of smaller organizations because, the question is, what's a bank anymore? Everyone is kind of a bank. Lots of people offer financial products that are now encompassed by these regulatory procedures that usually you would associate with tier 1 banks. So we're looking to do that. But the real emphasis that we have going forward is really leveraging big data and analytics into our solutions. So having this ability to utilize Hadoop and these other big data software databases that allow us to aggregate so much more data and then apply our analytics on top to find that needle in the haystack.
Well, that's really fits very well to my next question because as a leader in this field, Actimize has been very active for a long time. You're looking at a lot of new things, the analytic, the data part of it. I think there's still a lot of potential there. What do you see as the trends going forward?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is traditionally, from a transaction monitoring or behavioral point of view, it has been very rules-based. As we talked about known typologies of layering and these other types of activities. But financial criminals are not they're fairly smart people, and they can work around these rules. So really the emphasis on analytics and doing analysis, and like we talked about, that needle in a haystack, is looking at multiple different things. You're seeing criminals now use anonymous holding companies, shell companies, shelf companies. And so what they're using this from a trade finance point of view is using vehicles to move capital around the world to facilitate trade on illegal activity, to wash money and bring it through the system. So we have to become smarter as well, and we have to look at all types of different transactions as they come through and apply different types of analysis on it to pull those alerts out. It's an evolving thing, and it's never going to stop. It's as we get one step ahead, the criminals move, and we have to cat and mouse game. But we feel like the technology and what we've been doing with our R&D labs around the world is we are continuing to keep up with these trends to ensure that we have continued compliance for our customers.
Well, I tell you, it makes me feel a little safer that Actimize is out there working on these things and will continue to work in these things. It's one of the leaders in this field. I'm really pleased to have some time to talk to you today. Okay, very much enjoyed the time.
Yeah.
Thank you from Financial IT.
Thank you so much.
Chris Principe, Financial IT.